Okay, I see. Oh, wow, 6 seconds in. I didn't realize it started that quickly. That seemed faster than usual. But okay, we see I've got a live thing there. And let's see, I remember to mute my phone. Shocking. Oh, yeah, there's the alert. So I see the 2 live things. That's a good sign, but luckily it didn't scream in your ears as I did that. So that's a plus. Let's see. Okay, I see that it's live here. And let's go ahead and spin up the chat thing and see if we can actually get it to work. Okay. First window activated. That's a good sign. Second window activated. That's a good sign. And third window has activated. So now let's do a quick, activate the button. There we go. I heard the button. So now let's find out if it's actually working. Test 1. I heard it and I see it. Amazing. Hold on. Let's go back to here so I can close that. Let's go to this and we'll say test 2. And I see it and hear the button or the whatever. And it's in my multi-stream as well. Test 3 is also in the multi-stream. So let's close that down. And amazingly, I think everything is good. Okay, close that. And let's go ahead. What is it? We're a minute and, under 2 minutes. Yes, we're going to get going. Yes, I'm confident this time, which is such a bad thing to say. But I have confidence. Let's see if we see the iPad. If we do, hey, look at that. So, yeah. Welcome to a bit of a later stream than usual. I'm going to get a drink of water really quick since nobody's here anyway. It's fine. So yeah, usually I start these at around 6 or 6:30, but this evening it's obviously well, I shouldn't say obviously. Where I am, it is 6:45 in the evening, which requires additional permissions. What? Hold on. You know what? I don't care. Oh, is that what it's saying? Okay, well, I'm not going to bother with any of this. I don't care. It's fine. I don't send messages anyway. Okay. Anyway, get a sip of water. There we go. So, as you can see, sorry, I've got a new coaster for my water, and it feels a little different, so I couldn't quite tell if I was on there. As you can see here, we're doing something a little different this time. Move that. And as we're coming up on the holidays, I decided I've had this idea of a kind of manic Santa that I've wanted to do for a while, and it's been kind of floating around the back of my mind, and I'm gonna actually do it. So that's what we're working on tonight. As you can see, I've already got the basic sketch of it, and I have this kind of off-color background because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see the white beard and hair. And I want this to be essentially what this is going to be on eventually is probably like a red shirt. And so I want to not have any black lines. It's all going to be color. So like, you know, I just realized that stupidly, because I wasn't thinking about it when I did it. Where is that? This should also be white. That should not be black. That should be white. Bang, it's white now. Or some kind of color. But essentially what I want to be able to do is have this on a shirt where everything is basically a color as opposed to, well, I guess I shouldn't say, yeah. You know what? Actually, I really don't care if it can have color. It's not that big. It can have black lines. I was going to say it should all be color, but this is going to be on a shirt. But let me lighten that because that's way too hard to see. So yeah, I've already got this, and I don't know if you can tell. It may not be obvious, but I went around and I knew exactly who I wanted to base it on. And I found a picture of Jack Black from when he was, I would say probably 10, 15 years ago, something like that, when he was a little younger. And I was sure that I would find a picture of him where he had some kind of wacky, manic kind of expression. Sure enough, I did, and that's who it's based on. So that is who. There's a picture where his beard, I mean, obviously he has dark hair, but essentially it's this expression, more or less. And that's who it's based on. So that's what we're doing. All right, so here we go. Let's keep going. So I'm using a taper brush to basically make the wispy mustache and beard eventually. which I have to figure out how I'm going to do some of this stuff, but I'm not too concerned. Right now, I'm just getting it going, and it will just go where it needs to go. Bob Ross style. I'm not overthinking this one too much. I'm just letting it go where it needs to go and having confidence that it's going to look fine because I have my basic outline. Seeing like this is going to be tricky is okay. So this is going to be white on white. So how do I do something like this? And I'll have to do some kind of colors in it. Oh, that's what happened. Streamlabs must have updated because that chat thing wasn't there before. That's fine. I don't really care. Saying I have to grant permissions. Well, I'm not doing that in this stream. I actually got this thing working. It all seems to be working, and I got started within 2 minutes. So I'm going to ride that one as far as I can. All right, let's turn off. Or no, that's right. These layers are fine. So yeah. So I have to figure out how I'm going to... Certain things I just don't know how I'm going to do them yet, but I'm not going to worry about it. Because I'm sure I will figure it out. Actually, I don't like that at all. I was better off with the first one. There we go. So we'll just have that flow here. And then I will figure the rest out at some point. So we'll just stop that there. And, all right, let's get to the bottom part here. So yeah, like I've said, I've had this kind of idea in the back of my head for a long while. I mean, most of the year. That I wanted to, because I wanted to make a kind of, like I said, like a almost threatening, but I don't want it to be threatening. I want it to be more like just a nutso Santa, but not a threatening one, just one that makes you look twice kind of thing. And I was pretty sure, like I had the idea in my head that it would be based off Jack Black because I was pretty confident I would find a picture of him that would look right, and it did not take me. It maybe took me 2 minutes to find one, maybe. I don't even know if it took that long. Sure enough, I found it. And I know not everybody's a fan of his, but he does make some good faces. I actually had, for a minute or two, thought, well, if I can't find one of him, maybe I'll model it on myself, but I don't have that kind of facial structure. Like, I was so sure I'd be able to find a picture of him that worked. And I did. So, and I think what I'm going to do, I don't know, like I said, I have to work a couple of things with this out because I want to keep the black lines to a minimum. And I really want to have like this white beard. You know, I have this idea of how it's going to work in my head. And so I'm going to try to keep it to that where but obviously I'm going to have some kind of color variation in order to separate these. Because obviously if this is all white and this is all white, it's all going to blend together, and I don't want that. I want you to have the idea that there is a separation. Now it might just be a very slight variation in the color. That might be what I end up doing. We'll see. I don't know. I have time to figure it out. I'm not so concerned about it. It will get worked out one way or another. I just have to figure out what I want to do. And then I'll do it. So, like I said, the important first bit was to find a picture that matched what was in my head, which is pretty much exactly this. And then we'll get the kind of basics down of it. And, you know, then I'll figure out the detail stuff as I go. But I mean, I did the sketch really quick, but because his face is so expressive, it pretty much, I didn't even have to redo much. It was pretty much done. As soon as I saw the picture, I knew I had it. I knew I had the basics of it, so I just had to make sure I matched it. And honestly, you know, from an artist perspective, people who have very distinctive faces and big expressions tend to be easier. Not always. It's not a universal rule. But at least I've found, and I think most artists would probably agree, that when you have somebody with a big kind of expressive either face or a look that they're doing, it becomes easier to capture than, you know, trying to do something more subtle. Just is easier. So, like I said, I did not have to really do much to this. The sketch kind of fell into place very quickly because, you know, there wasn't a lot of, like the picture didn't have a lot of shadows. It's just very simple, and simple's good a lot of times, and in this case it was. So there are some shadows. You can see I did some shadows, just a little bit. I went back and forth on whether I even wanted to have those, but I do think I want to have a little bit, just to give the impression of shadows. I'm not going to have a ton. I actually had more initially, and then I went, I don't need a ton of shadows on this. It's supposed to be a big kind of striking, simple image. So don't go overboard. Have a little bit just to kind of break it up slightly, but don't go crazy. And I think that was the right call based on how it came out as far as the sketch, because I really just like the sketch. Like I like this as it is right there. And it's very simple. As you can see, there is not a ton to this. And that's okay. Not every drawing has to be as intricate and everything as that other one I was doing with the tentacle skull or the squid skull, whatever I'm calling that thing. Like, that's got a lot of line work that's going to be in there. And I'm going to get back to that one. But I really want to get this one done because, honestly, I'm going to throw this on a shirt and I'm going to wear it because I think it's hysterical. I just like the idea of it. That's the thing, you know, when I make a shirt image, my intention is always to wear it. Not for the fact that I have so many friggin' t-shirts. I would probably get almost everything that I put on a t-shirt and wear it. Yep, there you go. Let's do, just so that we've got it there, let's go ahead and put a kind of skin tone back here. Just something that, it's a placeholder more than anything. I'm not going to worry about it being a really accurate skin tone at this point, but just something to kind of have there. Okay, let's get a big paintbrush. Let's just go ahead and fill in the kind of fleshy areas. That's probably not actually Jack Black's skin tone, but I really don't care. This is really, like I said, more just to be able to see things and have something there so it's not just empty. I'm going to clean these edges up and everything. I'm literally just slopping this in so that it's there. And so we have something a little bit to look at. So I'm not too concerned about it looking clean or accurate or anything. It is really just so I have a nice contrast bit for when I'm doing the rest of this. So just fill that in right there. Yeah, just simple stuff. I will clean this edge up because I don't like messing with clean lines. So let's just to clean that up a bit. Just get that out of there. That line may disappear. It may change color. We'll see. I don't know that it's going to stay black like that, but that's fine for now. And just so we have, do this, just so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and, okay, that's the only problem is when you have small kind of variances, that paintbrush isn't the best choice. So we're just going to lock this stuff in right here. There we are. Just get those little spots. Get that cleaned up. I don't like how that looked. Yeah, no, that's too. Let's do this. Oh, no, even that was too much. There we go. Okay. Let's just get this little bit filled in. So like I said, just so you can see kind of what I'm going for. Just an idea of it. Without necessarily having to be too far done. Okay, let's do these. Okay. Yep. Because, yeah, I really have, I've had this idea of this type of Santa face that I wanted to throw on a shirt and wear around. So now I'm going to get to do it. I may do some kind of, I don't know, I might do some kind of like reindeer graphic or something for the back. I kind of feel like I want to have something on the back. But, you know, one step at a time. Important to get the front done first. Can always get to the back later. It's not going anywhere. But I want to get this done, I mean, pretty quick, because I'll get it through Threadless where I put all my shirts. And they generally take a few weeks to ship. They can go faster if you pay for like expedited shipping. But if I get it done early enough, then I don't need to pay for expedited shipping because I can wait a few weeks. I just don't want to wait too long. Hold on. Yeah, I was going to say I went way too far with that brush right there. I could tell I crammed into the actual hairs a bit, which I don't want to do. I do want to have let them have some of their space there. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Let's grab that paintbrush again. Let's see what we look here. How we look here. Stop there because I didn't do anything there yet. So, whoop. Oh, good. Very nice. Very nice. Close, but I got it. There we are. Okay, just gonna be careful there. And I don't like that. There we go. I don't like to have it sticking out. Oh, whoa, 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 way too crazy there. Way too much. But see, very quickly you can see what I'm going for, something like that, right? And then I'll use, like I said, a different color to kind of go in there. Yeah, that skin tone is definitely off. Well, let's see. Definitely, that's way... See, even like on a white shirt, see how that would look? You know what I mean? There's something to that. I like this idea, but I don't know yet. But this skin tone is I think, number one, is too saturated and it's too dark. Yeah, that's... Saturation actually is okay. Yeah, something like that. A little lighter. I don't think that's actually Jack Black's skin either, but whatever. Okay, let's turn this back to the off color so that I can see it. Okay, back to it. Let's go back to that taper pen. And let's keep working on this. Yeah, see, this is... See, I have to figure out... This is the bit I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. Because this is going to have to go into the rest of it. Right? So it's going to come up like this. Why does that look like it's on the wrong layer? That's why. That's why, you genius. All right. I was on the wrong layer. I should have known. Should have known by the fact that it wasn't going over the sketch lines. That should have been a clue if I had been paying attention. Obviously I wasn't. So we'll bring this in here. Right. And that. And there we are. See, and then this is going to be from the face. So let's go ahead and sweep that up. Just so that I have kind of a barrier there. Or a border, I should say. Not a barrier, but a border. Yeah, this is the tricky bit, is trying to sort out different weights to hair and stuff like that can be tricky. You know, and it really doesn't matter necessarily. But it kind of does to me. So I'd like to get it where it looks right. And it's hard to know what right is. You know, when you're not doing a strictly realistic image where you can look at a reference and know whether it's right or not, it gets trickier. Oh, wait, I forgot to change the background. Sorry. Let me change the background back to that. Okay, much better, much better. Yeah, okay. See, and I think what I need to do now is I need to do another layer here for this, because I will probably have to break this up somehow so that you can see the different kind of, I don't know, like I said, that's the part I gotta work out. I gotta work out how exactly this is going to go. Okay, so see, now that's the end of the facial hair, and then we gotta sweep into the bigger hair. And for that, I think I need a bigger brush. Same brush, but I need a bigger one. So, like, large. So I could do, like, sweep. See, like that, yes. Something like that. I could kind of sweep this out. And I want it to look much thicker than those smaller follicles. Like, that's... The hair should look bigger in its general kind of sweepiness. Sweepiness isn't a word, but I'm using it because why not? Oops. See, and this is where things get interesting, is trying to get this to look right. Well, so far it's okay. So far that is looking okay. Because that is definitely bigger hair than this. So what I want to do is like here. See, and I want this hair to kind of go all over the place and be very wild and just like wacky and free and, you know, just flipping out all over the place, doing its own thing. Yeah, I'll have to do some in-between stuff in there. But basically, that's more or less what I'm looking for. And then just do things like this to kind of really make it loony. Uncontrolled. Okay, maybe not those last two. Those are a little too much. No, that's not right. Yep, there we are. Something like that. And yeah, these are all. And the reason, another good reason to do these on multiple layers is in case I hate this later, which I could. I can always come back and just erase it and do something new. That's why having multiple layers is such an important idea. There's a lot of things I get wrong about this stuff, but the layer thing, I do take that pretty seriously because I understand the value of having the individual layers like that so that you can later come back and not have to ruin the entire, redo, not ruin. But if you find something just isn't working, if you don't have those layers individualized, you have to redo all of it. Which, you know, doing these lines like I'm doing right here, I don't necessarily hate it, but it's not the funnest thing in the world. It's just making lines. So, unless you want to have to redo a lot of that stuff, use lots of individual layers if you can. But even this is a pretty large image, and I have plenty of layers, I think. Because this is like 18 by 14 or something. Let's see. Canvas information. This is 14 by 18. And I have another 65 layers. So I have plenty of layers. Plenty of layers. And if I didn't, you know, I'd be in some trouble. But yeah, because I think I'm even going to use a bigger brush for the hair on the top of the head, you know. So I'm using a fairly large brush for the beard here. But I think I'll probably use an even, in fact, I want to see how big this thing can get. Oh yeah, see? Something like that is going to be good for this. Well, I'm just going to do that. You know what I mean? I'll just sweep it. Something like that. And then, you know, there too. Sweep, sweep. And see, it still now will look contrasted to this because of the size. That's why, yeah. That's why I'm saying different. Oh, what was that on? Oh no, I forgot. I didn't realize, what was I on? 15 maybe? I should have paid attention to that. I'll know. Yeah, that looks right. Okay. I think that's right. Yeah, should be okay. Let's put it this way. It's close enough. It doesn't matter. But that's why I should have paid attention on what number I had. But fortunately, this is close enough. It doesn't make a difference. It'll be fine. But yes, if you can, if you're working digitally, use lots of different layers. There's really no downside to it. You know, whereas stuff like masking, that type of thing, I don't really do that. I have to admit. I know people say I should. And I understand why they say it. I understand the logic of it, but I never wrap my head around layers. I'm just so used to destructive editing, which I know isn't... I mean, don't get me wrong, I do use masks. I do use them. I use them far more in video editing than I use them in photo editing, which is kind of funny. I'm actually working on a video edit now for a new late night episode. That will be out the first week of December. It will be the last late night of the year, which will be with an individual who I talked to 3 years ago. It's been a while. Named Daniel Ibertson, who runs a couple of YouTube channels. The one that he ran the longest, runs, I shouldn't say ran like it's over, it's not. But his kind of best known one is titled Slope's Game Room, focusing on video games, you might guess from the title. But he's also started doing one called Slope's Adventures. And that one is much more focused on theme parks, where he goes to theme parks with his kids. And they kind of do videos and review them and talk about them. And I really have always loved the artistry of theme parks. I've always really been impressed with, especially the really good ones, the amount of just interesting details that they put into them. So I really want to talk to him because he goes to a lot of them. I mean, he's got a bunch of videos that are going to be coming out on it, but even the ones he's already got, really interesting, on like a place called Efteling in, I don't know if it's the Netherlands or Germany, I can't remember. Really, really interesting, kind of very Grimm's fairy tale looking theme park. I love that stuff. You know, it's to see the work that they put into that place. Very, very neat. So I just started getting that edit going seriously today. When I say seriously, I mean I'd already kind of done the preliminary stuff, but I really started kind of cutting it and putting it together. And that's what I mean about masking, because I somehow got one of the masks on the video wrong, which was really annoying to fix. Because when it comes to video editing, I'll just be honest, I do it in a very, very, what I'm sure anybody who does it for a living would think is a terrible way. Because I just generally, I just have my way of working. So I'm sure that the way I'm doing it is more time consuming than it needs to be. I'm sure I'm doing it wrong in terms of the fastest and most hassle-free way to do it. Like, I'm positive I'm not doing it right, but I do it the way I do it. It's just how I am. So yeah, I went to fix. I had put a mask in because essentially I do my approach with a giant set of quotation marks around it. Actually, let me get a drink of water really quick. Pardon me 1 second. My approach to doing the shows now, the video shows, which at least as of right now are only the late nights and maybe certain specials, like the double feature movie reviews. I'm doing those in video, and there will be a new one of those coming up. In fact, there's a new one that's going to release on Monday, and that is the one that's already, but there's going to be a series of them coming, because we're going to do all the original Star Trek films and Generations. So that's going to be a lot of editing. Oh, man. There's a late night I'm going to do in between those. I already have it planned. That will give me time to get going on that, because that's just going to take a long time. Because when me and Doug do these shows, we just don't do short shows. And we're certainly not going to do a short show on Star Trek, because we both are big fans of all those movies. And we're going to have a ton to say about them. And I'm going to have to put some video materials in there, so it's going to take forever. Which is fine. I say that like it's a bad thing. It's not. I have a lot of fun doing it. I really do. But where was I going? Oh, yeah. So I had to fix this mask that I had done with something, and I see how that's gone. It's still there. That's why I have to have that second layer, because I'm going to have to figure out how to separate that stuff. Because I don't want to lose that detail. I want those to be there. So I'll probably have to put like a darker off-white color in certain areas that will then pop that white stuff out. That's the only way I can think to do it. Because otherwise, right now, yeah, it's all lost. You don't even see it. And there's an argument to do it that way, that if I want to keep it really simple, you don't have the distinction. But I kind of like the idea that you would see it. I don't want it to all just be a blanket of white like this. You know, I want to have those little other hairs coming out. So I think what I'll end up having to do is something like this. We'll see. Now, it's not going to be that. That's gray. It'll probably be like an off-white, but that will then pop the white stuff out. So there'll be like a secondary layer. But that's in the future, not right now. Right now, I'm just laying out stuff. Okay. So let's do the eyebrows, which definitely have to be the smaller pen. Let's check that. Oh, forgot. I got to use the actual right thing. Yeah, definitely got to be that. So we'll do it like this. There we go. That's just got to get it started. That's the trick, is to get it started. And this, I really don't need to be using this brush to do the bottom parts, because you're not going to see that. I'm not going to worry about that. Like that, you won't see. But you know, whatever. It's fine. Doesn't hurt to do it. Whoops. Go back. There you go. And that way, I can actually come into here and get that going. Yep. Okay. So now, let's just do that. Right. I don't need to have as much of this, and I want to keep this somewhat even. This doesn't have to be too wild, because because it's eyebrows, and you can go overboard with wild eyebrows, so I'm going to try not to. And little wisps here and there, okay, but not quite as zany as the beard. There we are. Okay. Yep, that'll do. And then let's go ahead and go to our... Well, I'm going to do an actual independent layer because these can actually be filled in. This I don't have to worry about breaking out the darker parts. This is all going to be white like this. And if I do any type of shadowing, it won't be highlighting. You can't highlight white. I don't care what anybody says. You're not going to highlight white. But if I do any type of shadowing, I'll just do it over this. Or I'll figure out like an alternate method. But I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to keep the eyebrows pretty much just straight white. I like it like this. I think it's fine. No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, see, I think that's fine like that. I don't think I have to worry about that too much. So we got that. All right, let's switch back to the taper pen. Actually, I'm going to move this guy up. Okay, not that far up. Okay, come on. There we are. No, now you went down too far. What are you doing? Okay, fine. Are you kidding me with this? Is this really... Okay, fine. There. Got it. Actually, no, I think this one is supposed to be on the top. There we go. Actually, what I should do... Jeez. Hold on. Whoops. Whoop, no, come on. No, how do I rename it? About? Okay. We'll call this... Because I really don't need to have this in parentheses. We'll call this Joe's Tech Pen 3. This is just bugging me. We're going to make this Joe's Tech Pen 1. And then this will be Joe's Tech Pen 2. Just because why not? There we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. That's what I want. Anyway, sorry. Back to taper pen. 1. And then that was this layer? Yes, it is. Okay. So basically same thing here. We'll just kind of bring that around. And then we'll just start doing this. Like I said, I'm not trying to make these too... The eyebrows don't have to be too out there. I just have to kind of look, you know, a little bit unkempt, I guess would be the word for it, but not out of control, not, you know, ugly-ish or too nuts. Just subtly kind of whimsical. Yeah, whimsical's a good word for it. Whimsical. It's a good word. Don't hear that enough anymore. Whimsical. Okay, so we'll just do... Yeah, that's fine. And we'll do that. Okay. Go in here. 33 minutes already. Yeah, this one's flying. Flying. That didn't look right at all. There we go. Okay. And there we go. So now we'll jump back to that white layer. This white layer. Get Tech Pen number 3 on the case. We'll fill that in. Alright. Yeah, actually I was thinking because I'm going to be going, flying back to New York for Christmas. My mother was saying, you know, that because there's going to be somebody picking me up, because my mom really does not enjoy driving into New York City. And unfortunately, there's really no, any flights from one side of the country to the other. You're going into JFK, almost certainly. And there's a lot of construction right now because they're doing repairs and stuff. So whenever she's going to have there's a car service she uses that's because she's going to send to, for pickup. And what they like is you to have something they can identify you very distinctly. And I'm like, well, this would be something. Look for a guy with a crazy looking Santa on the shirt. And you'll know that it's me. It just seems like a funny thing to do. So that was part of also the reason why I was like, oh yeah, I got to get this done. Gotta get this going. I'm gonna put some just little wispy bits here, just because, you know, eyebrows don't generally just start out of nowhere. So I'm just doing a little bit there, just to give it something. Just give it a little bit of a kind of looking like a starting point. Here we are. And we can do the same thing out here where we do a little bit of that. No, not that much. Just do like 1, 2. Not that, forget that one. There we go. 1, 2. There we go. Yeah, just little accent things like that. Really easy stuff. Okay, so now. Wait, where did I put that? You know what? That's fine. That's okay there. Where is this? There. Okay, that. Let's get that. Let's just shave that off. There we go. Now, for. All right, hold on. I gotta look at this for a second. Yeah. Okay. So now I need the big taper brush. So let's go with that pen. But we're punching it way up. Ooh, 40. That's a big brush. Yeah, see that? Okay. Well, I mean, I really don't need to do it that way because you're not going to see it up there. So we'll do this. Yeah, see? Sweep that around. We're going to do basically the same thing here. Yep. And then the same thing here. Whoop. Okay. And then another one down here. Not curvy enough. There we go. Gotta get some. This is, because these are the big pieces of hair, we want big swirls on these. And I'll come in and make smaller ones too. But this is like his actual hair. So I'm kind of really, really whipping this thing around. Just, wah, like that. Yep. Okay, that's way too similar to the other one. A little variation. There we go. And then I can fill the rest in. I can do something like that. There. Okay. Now over here, same thing. We take these big kind of things and wah, let that off. And I mean, I really have to whip that off or it's not going to work. So, I mean, I'm really kind of winging the... Nah, that's too similar. Let's see. How am I supposed to pronounce that? UIZ. I did watch some of that Murder Drone stuff. I liked it. It's interesting. I didn't watch too much of it, but I started to watch it. I like it. But yes, you recommended it the last time you were here. So yeah, I took a look at it. I liked it. Okay. Let's see. Wait. Okay. And one down there. Okay, so that's generally going to cover the hair, the big parts. So now let me... Actually, you know what? Let me look at this. Let me do one more. Let's do one more, and we'll just kind of sweep this along here. Bring that out like that. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's bring it like this, and yeah. You know what? Yeah, let me think about this. Okay, I know what I need to do. I need to bring this brush way down to like 10. And then I need to go the other way from down here. So what I need to do is bring this along here and see, just do smaller hairs. And that looks better, I think. Yep, that's going to look better than if I did a really large one. I think if I go too large with it, it's not going to look right. But if I just kind of sweep this around... That's better, because then that's going to come down into here, and then we'll bring that right there. Okay, we got that. And let's see. So, oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing a, I'll let you look at that for a minute while I get a drink of water. Just a kind of slightly off-kilter Santa for a shirt that I'm going to get made. A little early. I know we're ahead of December, but hey, all the stores have holiday stuff up now, so why not Okay. So let's do a little bit of this. Actually, what I should do is bring this down even further, like a 5. Just do some little bits there. Not too much stuff. I don't want to go too crazy here. But just a little bit to show that the hair is kind of coming down. Like that. And just a little bit of this. That. No, actually, I don't like that. That one I like. That'll work. Okay. That, there's going to be... pardon me. There's going to be nothing there. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, the rest is all right. So let's go back. And we will do another white layer. And again, this is all going to be blending together for now, but it will be... I will figure out how I'm going to separate it later. But for right now, just blending this all so we get a kind of uniform look at things. But it will not all be this same white. It will get changed once I figure out how I'm going to do the different shadows and stuff like that, which I'm pretty sure I have an idea on how to do. But for right now, I just want to make it all uniform. Yeah, I liked it. Like I said, I liked it. There's a lot of good... I don't know how big the team is that makes it. Let me look at something. Hold on. I'm curious about something. Because it's such a different world now when it comes to making things. I mean, there's so many great tools for different things that you can just... Okay, so... Yep, I see that part, but let's see. How many people are involved? Okay, well, there's a lot of voice work. I figured that part, but how many people actually... Let's see. Just try cast. Well, okay, that's not what I was looking for. Glitch Productions is who makes it. How many people are actually in the team? Just out of curiosity. Wow. Man, they've been around for a while. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't say how many, because it's... Yeah. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, I figured that part. I knew it was a web series. I was just curious how many people were involved in making it. But, yeah. Oh, so so the series is only the 8 episodes total. Okay, well, I'm glad I didn't blow through all of them then. Yeah, because I watched the first 2. And, so... I didn't realize, I thought that I had only stumbled on like season 1 or something. That's interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize that. Well, there's a lot of good web series, that's for sure. That's what I was talking about, is now, you know, you really can make a web series with a small team of people, and it can do really well. Which is great. I think that's fantastic. Because it used to be, I mean, before you had YouTube and everything, if you couldn't get it onto TV, nobody would ever see it, usually. Or it'd be like an underground type of thing. But that usually meant you didn't have a lot of people watching it. And the only way you're going to get something on TV is if you managed to get it in front of somebody who had a TV network or could get something on a TV network. So you just didn't see a lot of this. You didn't see a lot of variety in things. Everything kind of looked the same. There was a lot of things that all looked the same and sounded the same. And honestly, you'd get some stuff here and there, like Liquid Television was a big deal because it was so different from what was generally on TV animation-wise. But there wasn't a lot of that. So now you can get all this stuff, which I think is great because it means you can have, you know, a small team of people or even one person who has an idea for something, and they don't have to wait and get it approved and hope that somebody gets it. Well, just make it. Just make it and put it out there and let people find it. I think that's great. Let's do this. Do that. Let's do this. What is my favorite web series? Ooh, that's a good question. Animation-wise, there was a... I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call this my favorite because I don't think, geez, how long? It's been so long since it was on. But when I saw it, it was so different from everything. There was nothing else quite like it. But there was a series. Let me just see if it's. I think it's pretty much over with. But hold on. Yeah, it ended in 2016. Yeah, a series called Happy Tree Friends, which, you know, it's a very particular. Wow, I didn't realize there were 93 episodes of that. There were, yeah. They're very short. I will say that. They're very short. They're usually 5, 6, 7 minutes long, maybe. So they're definitely on the shorter side. But it's just about these. Oh, I don't even know how to describe it, but that's probably the best web series because, again, at the time, there wasn't a lot of that. There weren't as many series that were out there like that one is. It's got a very kind of dark sense of humor, which I like. Yeah, it's great. Like I said, that's an old one, so I mean, it's over with, which I figured. I've seen little references to it pop up here and there, but I didn't think it was on anymore because I saw it so long ago. But honestly, that one I really liked just because at the time there wasn't a lot like it. Now there's a lot of variety and stuff. You can find a lot of this type of stuff. But when I saw that, there really wasn't anything quite like it. And it just had this really, really specific sense of humor, and the animation wasn't all that impressive, but I don't think it wanted to be. It wasn't trying to be really good-looking animation. It was just trying to be funny. And it was. And like I said, there wasn't a ton of it along. Yeah, it does. It does have some similarities. That's why I thought of it. Because that's why when I watched Murdrones, I went, okay, yeah, this is kind of... This that's what I mean about this stuff now. You can find so much of it. It's almost like there's too much because sometimes you miss it. There'll be something and you don't hear about it until way later. But yeah, now you can find lots of this type of stuff. It's around, and it's really good because animation tools are great. So it's a much different world. There's lots of really good material to find and be able to discover that wasn't around when I was younger, that's for sure. Or it was really hard to make it. Now it's just not as hard, which is good. Because like I said, you shouldn't have to, you should be able to make stuff like this. So I'm glad these tools are now more commonly available that people can make them. What is this? Oh, I didn't realize I did that. Whoops. All right, let me fix that really quick because I screwed that up. I did not mean to have the white on that layer, so let me just quickly fix that. So on this one, let's get rid of all the white area. All right, get all that out of there. And then reverse it and get rid of all the... Whoops. No, sorry. No, I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. Get rid of all this, because I didn't realize I did that. That was an accident. Okay. I turn that back on, turn all this stuff back on. There we are. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take this, and I want to move this down, way down under the white stuff, like that. Very good. And, all right, now I have to think about this one. This I got to think about a little bit. That part, okay. All right, so what I need to do, not that. This needs to be basically right there. Perfect. Now it's over that line, which is where it should be. And this needs to also be up here. There we go. So now it's over that line. Okay. So let me just turn off the pencils for a minute. Yeah, it's getting there. Not bad. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Turn this back on. Okay. So, let me look at something. I want to look at something really quick. Let me take a quick look, because I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with the actual hat itself. Actually, you know what? Never mind. I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I got it. Nope, I got it. All right, so we're going to go to black. And actually, no, sorry. I want to look one thing up. I just want to look at Santa hats really quick, because I just want to see. Something. Santa hats. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, it's basically all the same thing. That's what I figured. Yeah, you really just kind of have a universal thing for that. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's go back to here. Let me check this line length. Oh, perfect. That's the one. That's it. And let's go down to, let's do a layer under that. And let's go ahead. Huh. Nah, I got it. And let's just make the Santa hat little ball. You know, I do this all the time. Let me do this really quick. Just so that I have kind of a thing to follow. Let's make a very simple circle. That's going to be the end of the hat. Okay, now put a layer above it. And let's follow that a little bit. Just so I'm kind of making it circular. I mean, I'm not going to stick to exactly the, it's not going to be a circle. But I want it to kind of follow the circular pattern here. There we are. That should disappear behind the hair. It does. And now I don't need the circle anymore. So goodbye, circle. Right, and then I need the actual curve of the hat. I'm going to try to do this in one motion. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll try it. And it should be sharper than that, so it should be something like that. Oh, not bad. That's fine. Of course, I now have to come in here and finish this because I didn't have enough. There we go. And that also needs to be down here. Yeah, so that has to come down here. Let's see all that. Perfect. Okay. So now we've got the hat and a little fold. And see, my idea is that the hat, this part right in here, this area here, that is not going to be colored in. And that way, let's say you have a shirt that's this color. Well, the hat will be that color. Or you have a shirt that's this color. Well, the hat's that color. So see, you'll be able to make the shirt. I did this with one other thing where I have one part that's basically clear. And that way, if you get a red shirt, it'll be, well, that's not really a great red, but yeah, something like that. Then it'll be red. Or if you got a green shirt, well, now it's green. So that part, this in here, is going to change to match whatever shirt you get. That's the idea of it. And so that part of the hat is going to be changing color. Well, I'm just looking at it. Yeah, no, that's right. That's what I was trying to do. So it'll change to be whatever the shirt is. So that's the idea with that. I thought about having the eyes doing that too, where the eyes would also change color and they would match the hat. So it would, okay, well, not like that. Hold on a minute. So like this. Hold on a second. Let me just clean this up. And welcome back. You didn't miss much. I don't think you missed very much, right? So, okay. So if I clear this area too, right? Just gotta clear the skin color out of here. Okay, so if I do that, and I see now, if you get a green shirt, the hat and the eyes turn green. So if you get a, that shirt, the eyes match. I don't know. I kind of am going back and forth on that one. I've got the eye color if I want it, like that. But I could also turn that off, and then that would change every time. So I don't know. I'm going to see what it looks like when I'm done. I'm not 100% one way or another on that. But the nice part is I have the option. I can do it or I cannot. It's not going to make... It doesn't change the drawing to do it one way or another. But just so you have a better, clear sense of what I'm talking about. Which I'm pretty sure it's clear, but just so you have a better sense of it. Hold on. Let's do this. Actually, I'll show you exactly what I mean. This is kind of a fun exercise anyway. So let me do this. Color this in. But I like the idea that you can choose that you have some ability to customize something of it when you get it. Where is that? There. Let's just erase that little bit there because we know we don't need that. And let's also erase this little bit right here because we know we don't need that. Okay, now back to here. Go back to here. Let's color this in. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, I think it's I think you get the sense of it, but just in case, let's make it. And I know that's just for now. Let's just do that, just so you can see it. That's what I mean about, you can't use, oh. I forgot I changed the brightness. Let's grab a sample of that. There we go. Okay. That's the only problem with having so much white in something, is everything's going to get lost in itself until I fix it. But that's no problem. It's very easy to make this white again. I just blow out the brightness on it and it'll turn white. So, and in Photoshop, I can literally just overlay a color all on this in 2 seconds, rather than having to even mess with the brightness and saturation on it. It'll be very quick. So I will figure something out with that. Okay, so if we take this, let's get our paintbrush. Let's fill this in like this. All right, okay. Fill that like this. Let's get that other brush here. Fill that in. Okay. All right, so now, up here. Let's do this. And erase that. Okay. And we're going to make this the same color. Right. Oh, not the eraser, though. On the right layer? Yes. Okay, just like this. Follow that. Follow this along. All right, now, really quick, so you can, well, we're okay. Jeez, it's almost an hour already. Wow. Time flies. I could kind of tell because the iPad's starting to heat up. So I sort of had a sense that I was getting close to the end here. Because the iPad does start to generate heat right where the chip is. It's very funny. Any type of tablet, there's a very easy trick to figure out where the actual chip that powers it is. When you have it on for a while, whatever the warmest spot is, that's where the chip is. Because it will heat up. So if you're ever curious, your phone too. Phone, same thing. When you're using it, the warmest spot, if you're charging it, might be the battery. But if you're using your phone and you start to feel a particular area that's hot, that is almost certainly where the chip powering the phone is, physically, because it's doing all the work. Because the screen itself will warm up depending on what kind of screen it is, but nothing warms up as much as the chip because it's doing the most work in keeping all the processes running. So if you're ever curious about where the chip that powers whatever device you're using is, and it's one where you can feel the surface of it, and it's something self-contained like a phone or a tablet, feel for the really warm spot. That's it. With very few exceptions. There are some phones where different components will heat up as much, but almost always the hottest thing is going to be the chip, no matter what, unless you have a phone. I know there's a couple of custom phones out there that have like their own heat sinks and stuff built in. Those in theory might get the hottest, but I doubt it. Okay, so let's turn the background off and let's add a new layer and let's move the face up 1. On this layer, let's just grab a wacky color like this. Okay, now let's turn the eyes off. So fill that, and then let's see here. Hold on. I don't know what IBX PQNTI is. Let's see. Oh, paint. Yeah. Okay. So. Right, now this is what I was talking about. So if, that's the other thing. There's so many different options to do different stuff now. So many great options. Free ones, paid ones, all different, all over the spectrum. Which I think is fantastic, because I'm all for people being able to be creative. I don't think being creative should cost you a ton of money. I think people should be able to start off with something that's simple and free and then figure out what they want to do. Okay, so this is let's say this is the shirt, right? So if you were to pick a shirt that was this, see, it will change the color, and that will be the thing. There's green. Okay, you like purple. You like, I guess that would be teal. Again, there's green. But this will shift however you want. So I like the idea of that. Now, if I kept the eyes blue, then only the hat would change. I don't know. I'm going back and forth on that. I have to think about that. That's something I just got to kind of... That's something I'm going to have to work out. But I have the option, so it really doesn't matter. It's not set in stone one way or another. At least not yet. Not until I upload the photo to the shirt site and have them printed. So, well, we're at an hour. So, since my iPad is heating up, and I've been doing this for a while, I think that is a good place to bring this up and get this stream wrapped up for this week, or this evening for this week. So, thank you very much for being here, UIZ. I don't know if I'm supposed to say the letters or if I'm supposed to say something like use, but I'll say UIZ. And thank you for being here and hanging out for a bit and recommending Murder Drones, because it is very neat. And if you haven't watched that and you're watching this, you should go check it out, because it does have a very distinctive art style. And I enjoyed it so far. Favorite new web series? I have to check which things are actually web series and which things are streaming series that just get put on the web. Now everything kind of mixes together. So I don't know. I don't even know what a web series, does that mean it has to be entirely on the web? Or I don't know. So I'll have to think about that one. Let me think about that one, and I'll come up with an answer on the next stream. I have to look and see what is actually a web series that I watched. It's a pure web series. So I'll have to figure that out. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for being here. Whether you're watching live or later doesn't matter to me. I just appreciate you stopping by and saying hello. So, depending on when you're watching this, as of the live stream, the weekend's coming up, so have a very nice weekend. And if you're watching this in the beginning of the week, then have a nice week. And go watch somebody else doing something creative. Don't stop here. Go find somebody else doing something creative and just enjoy creativity, or go be creative yourself, because it's good for you. You should do as much of it as you can. And on that note, again, thank you for being here for a little while and hanging out with me. And until the next stream, as I said, enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend. Have a creative one, whatever you do.